Hello, I hope you can hear me and see me okay. I'm back today with another sewing chat video. It's an early May makes video, so I'm just showing you what I've made so far, and I seem to be on a bit of a roll actually with some of my makes. I've got my notepad and I'm on my own, I haven't got a dog with me. My husband is in the garden. Well, obviously with lockdown he's here like basically all the time, and yeah, he's like, he can sometimes be on an emergency, but it's been quite quiet for him, and he's out in the garden building his like man cave, well, prepping the land for his man cave, and because he does his own things, so the dogs are happy out there and the cats follow him around out there, so I will be out there as well in a bit, but I'm just going to bring this to you first. I'm just seeing actually on the screen, you can see these. How embarrassing. This is my takeaway tins. I'm saving them because I'm gonna craft with them, so I just realised you could see them in shots, you know. I'm not going to be ashamed, you know. I'm not going to be ashamed, but you know, we like you know, take out every now and then, you know. So right, on my notes, the first thing I was going to mention is my Janet Clare. Now, if you might have seen, I did an unboxing video as my last one, but you might not have watched that because you might not be interested in seeing an unboxing. And I was unboxing my So Hayley Jane box. It was a bit of a spontaneous one. The postman turned up and I came along and I showed the video, and I did mention my Janet Clare, but in previous videos I've gone on and on and on about it. I haven't started my Janet Clare spoon drift, haven't started. Well, I have started, and here is the first block. Now, if it's not a very good way of looking at this, so if you can't see it that well and you want to see it a little bit better, at the end of this video go to the description box and there'll be a link to the blog, and there's a photo there because I've wrote my blog for this already, so there's a blog post about it. So basically it's just a pieced block with an applique ship on it, and I've done the free motion on it. Now, I don't know whether for future blocks, if there's a applique on it, not to do the free motion at this stage. I don't know whether to leave the free motion for when the quilt is all made up, but because it's a quilt along in a magazine, I'm not sure how big it's going to be, so I don't know how easy it would get to go under my machine. So maybe it might be best for me to do the free motion embroidery on any applique box as I go along, and then just see at the end how I'm going to quilt it, because I don't think it's going to be huge, because it's like, well, I suppose they're quite big blocks, and I think it's, I don't know how many months it's going to go on for, but it's in what quilting magazine in it is it? Hang on, let me have a look. Hang on, sorry, you're gonna see my legs now. Sorry, let me have a look. I should know this. Today's quilter. It's in that magazine, and that was in the issue just before Christmas. So there's another block from that magazine, the first one, the first issue that it was in, which I haven't made that yet, but I've started, so that's a start, isn't it? So, and what I was going to tell you about that video is I've recorded myself making this block. Not at every single second because there's a lot of repetitive things, but I've done videos and I've took pieces that are crucial. So if you're interested in how I work when I'm doing patchwork, it will give you a really good insight. Now, I've got all the pieces of video together and I'm going to do a voice over the video. So the next video I bring on YouTube is going to be that it's basically about a 7-minute video. Whether I come on and do an introduction before it and come on at the end, I don't know, which will lengthen it a little bit, but that is what you'll see on the next YouTube. So that's that out the way, but there is a photo of it on the blog if you wanted to see it, and obviously you can get back issues and things. Basically, so the next thing I've got on my little list here is my coffee machine. It came So if you've watched my videos for a long time, you will know I did have a coffee machine in here, and it was just wonderful. But I always had coffees. It was a really old machine, but it was wonderful because the coffee pods that you put in, they had the milk in them. So if I had cups in here, clean cups all the time, I've got if you've seen one of my previous videos, I've got a little mug stand with all sewing theme mugs on it, and it was quite nice because you could just put your coffee pod in it and use it, and then you haven't got to keep going in the kitchen, because I don't have sugar, but you could have a sugar pot in here, couldn't you? But one time I ordered some coffees. I tend to get them online because you get a better value often, and sometimes you can get, you know, the recycling bags and things, but if you do it that way. But what happened is I ordered the wrong coffees, and they didn't have the milk, and so they were a bit of a funny coffee. I didn't like the taste initially, but I put the coffee machine then. I started having one first thing in the morning, and I realised I loved them, but you had to put milk in them. So my husband, he's lovely, he gets out of bed before me. For years I was the first one that used to get out of bed, for many years, but he gets out of bed only a little bit before me. But he likes a green tea, and he always does me a coffee, so it's kind of nice really, because he just puts one of those pods in for me now, and it's less effort. All he's got to do is put the pod in and then add the milk in. But I was left without a coffee machine in here, and anyway, I was ordering some coffees for him, and there was a deal on the website. If you added 8 boxes of coffee to your basket, this is a Dolce Gusto, you could have this bundle where you got a mini machine. So it wasn't going to come to much more having this bundle. It was virtually free really, to get the little machine. So the machine came, and I did do a little Instagram story about it actually, but I've took a photo of the coffee machine, and that's in the blog as well, which will be in the description. So if you wanted to see that in here, you'll see that. So that's that. I should tick these off what I've spoke to you about next. Now if you watched one of my previous videos, I was telling you that a lot of people are doing things online because of Corona, so it's good to take these opportunities while you can. And I mentioned that a lady was doing an online club, and it's just for 6 weeks, 6 projects, 6 weeks, and I've showed you I think 2 of them already, and I'm thinking, is it the third? So the third one, it's very much like this actually. I made this first, but it's basically a replique ship, and which is very similar to this, that you free motion, and then it's in a drawstring bag. And so that I've done that, but I did have a little tweak. I've put a Union flag on it. Well, I know some people call it Union Jack. I think basically you call it a Union Jack if it's on a boat, but without the boat it's a Union flag. But I think everybody just calls it the Union Jack, so maybe that's what I should just call it. So here is my my bag. Now I have put a photograph of this on the blog, and actually if all goes to plan, at the end I've done a little mini movie of me making this with music. So if all goes to plan, I will put this at the end of this video. So when I do my bit here, hang on a bit, and I think there's going to be either 2 or 3 mini things at the end. Sorry if I've got that wrong. There'll definitely be 2, there might be 3, and this will be one of them. And you'll see me at work. It's only about, I think one of the videos is about 2 minutes, and one video is about 1 minute, so it's not going to add much onto the end of it. So I hope you enjoy those. I have shared them other places, and people have said they've liked seeing me working. So yeah, so please check that out at the end, and there is a photograph of this on the blog. So yeah, I'm really pleased, and it is very, very similar. It just was quite funny, wasn't it, doing the two ships and so close together. Well, it was literally one after another. So that's that. I'll just pop that down there and I can tick that off. So next I've put VE Day. So I hope you've all had a nice VE Day. I actually did a blog post on VE Day, and I didn't have a video. I just posted on my blog. So people that are signed up to my blog, they've filled in their email. I think you have to go all the way to the bottom of my blog posts, and they've entered their email. They get notified every time I do a blog. So generally the blog was always to support this video, but I have started now doing the occasional blog and there's no video. So if you just follow me here, you might be sometimes missing out. So it is worth signing up to the blog, and then you'll always get those posts as well. Because if you follow my blog, you will have seen that it was a bit of a joint effort. Me and my husband have done an ironing board. I'm just getting a notification about DPD are coming. Oh, the 18th of May, that's okay. Sorry, because I do this on my phone. I get notifications, and sometimes I'm like, if I go a bit like, start doing this, sometimes that's why. So, so DPD are delivering something. I think it's my husband's Father's Day gift. I think it's either his Father's Day or birthday. I can't remember, because I've had to order Father's Day and my husband's birthday. I'm getting a bit confused what I've done. So where was it? It's a good job I've got this, isn't it? So VE Day. So on VE Day, I did a blog post about what I'd done. So I'd posted that that I'd decorated, what the decorations that I'd done, and I didn't take a photo of what I'd done outside, but I took a photo of my dress out, and that was on the blog. Obviously it's not going to be in the blog post that's attached to this video, but if you wanted to see that blog, if you go to the blog post on this, you can get to the bottom and it will say previous blog. So then that would take you back to the unboxing one I did, and then you can read that one, which is just a couple of photos on that one. It's not much to read. Go to the bottom of that and it will keep taking you back to previous blogs that I've done. So if you want to see the ironing board hack, because I haven't shown you on screen, you haven't seen it, but I've got photos and it shows how we did it. And it's basically a trolley. It's a bit like the IKEA trolley. It's not my idea. I saw it on Facebook. I showed it to my husband, said, look, can we do this? And I had a different trolley to this lady, but we've done the same kind of thing where we've put like a travel ironing board on this trolley. But in my blog it shows you how we did it, and I leave a link to the blog where the one I saw that gave me the inspiration. So so obviously if you want to see that, you'll have to check the blog out that's in this description and just flick back a few. So you'll probably have a So Hayley Jane unboxing, probably a VE Day, and then it's probably the one before. So I should have mentioned that on my videos before. So I did that, did some decoration, and then on that day, right, it was a bit unfortunate really, this was on the same day. I told you that I booked an online like Zoom conference. I think it was like a 30 limit, but I don't think there ended up being 30. I thought it said sold out, but maybe there was a smaller limit than I realised. But I was involved in a 3-hour Zoom conference, and basically my blog post, not the last one, the one before, I did what happened that day, and I put photographs of everything. So I have put a blog post, I have put a photo of something I did in this blog that's connected to this, but if you want to see all the pictures connected to that, you'll have to look back like on previous ones. But basically it was a lot of fun. It was in the morning, so it did free up the afternoon, so it was quite good actually. And so I'm not going to go in loads of details about it because I have wrote all about it, but we had a bit of a play in the morning where we were told to free motion embroider our name. So I've took a photograph of this on that previous blog so that you can see it a bit better. So I had to free motion embroider my name. So basically free motion embroidery is basically like drawing on your sewing machine. You basically, the needle is staying still, the fabric is not being pulled through with the feed dogs. You are moving the fabric around, and imagine the needle is a pencil and you're moving it around. So that's what I did. I did my name. It's really hard to see with these lights. I did try leaving the lights off, but it was just a little bit too dull, so I had to put them on. Then we were told, we had a bit of an intro, and then we were told to do a face. And Janet actually, it showed you her free motion embroidering a face, and then we had to do a face. So that was my face. I didn't do any hair, but that was my face. And basically you had to keep going. There was no lifting up and putting down. You had to just keep going for this whole face. And then we were asked to do a bike, and mine came out tiny. So I did this little tiny bike. I don't know how well you can see that. And then we were told to do a house. And we were invited as, oh no, it wasn't the house yet. It was a penguin. But she didn't show us her doing a penguin. She said, just think what you imagine a penguin is like and just do it. And that's how I did my penguin. And actually I did all this like grass around it, because you know how much I love free motion embroidery and grass if you've been following me. But then I thought after, how stupid, a penguin wouldn't be on grass, would it? So it's a bit, but this wasn't going to do anything. It was just a bit of doodling and practice. Then we basically, after each thing, we were invited to show our name, show our face, show our penguin, show our bike. And then I had a little bash. I had a look at the others, and I had another go at a penguin, and I did that one. But I hadn't had the chance to show my house and my other penguin. And then they told us to have a bit of a doodle. And then I decided, because I'd done this house here, there's my house, and I'd done the bike over here, I did a line, so I made it look like the bike was going up the hill to the house, and I did some little smoke coming out the chimney. And then I think, if I'm getting this right, we were given like a coffee. We did the silence, the 2-minute silence at 11 o'clock. And then we carried on a little bit, and then we were told to do something about VE Day and the date and things, and that's when I did that. And then we were told that we could have a tea break and a bit of a stop for like 10 minutes. So that's what we went off. We left the cameras on. It was quite funny actually, because I had it on my iPad because I wanted the bigger screen, and I haven't got anything really to stand it on. So we've had like fruit and veg delivered off my husband's cousin, because he's in like the food industry, and I used that box upside down over in front of my sewing machine. So I wasn't getting filmed here, I was getting filmed over there, so that was a bit different. So normally you'll see my hashtag staying and sew. I'll just get it actually. Normally you see that sitting here, but I've got it over there because I wanted that on display, because my background was a slightly different place, so that was quite interesting seeing it. You could see like my dress form and things behind me, so maybe I'll do a little film there. But the only trouble is the sewing machine is like literally like here, so you just like kind of see, like you see a little bit here, and I'm a bit like this, sit over it kind of thing. So that's what we did. And then when we came back, what I knew in advance, we wasn't given the sizes of fabric we needed. We knew we were going to be doing a free motion, the end end thing we were doing after the doodling, we didn't know we were going to be doodling, but that's what we did, was going to be a free motion embroidered, well, an applique duck that's free motion embroidered. But I didn't know that we were going to be given a template to download. So ahead of time, and I didn't know what size fabric or what we were going to be doing with it. So I got my thinking cap on, and I decided to draw my own duck. And if you've seen my blog post, you'll know this already. So I drew my own duck. That was my interpretation of this is a runner duck. Now, I fell in love with runner ducks when I went to the country. I mean, do you watch Country File? I watch Country File, and I fell in love with the runner ducks at the Country File. I just, oh, they're just lovely. I really love them. But I love any like nature and animals, and you know, I'm just that kind of person. So I'm gonna love ducks, aren't I? And I actually have got a wooden duck on display, and so I was delighted about this. So I drew my duck, but as it turns out, I hadn't seen an email, but you could download a duck. But I thought, you know what? I like my duck. The only thing I would say that was different about doing Janet's duck, because the wings were independent, look at me doing it, were independent to the body pieces, and I was going to be doing I planned I would free motion my wing in there, but because Janet's were individual pieces, they you could kind of move them around, so it kind of give them a bit of characters. The plan was to do one duck, that was what, but you were invited to do more if you liked. But I thought I'd really like to do 5, because it would represent my family with my husband and our 3 boys and myself. And I tried to think of a nice sentiment, and I thought it'd be really nice to do something on the front wording and then something to finish it at the back. And then I thought, oh gosh, I could do free motion grass. So ahead of time, I planned out what size fabric I would need to do this project. I turned my drawing of a duck into fabric pieces, 5 of them, and I fused them onto my fabric. I didn't do any free motion embroidery on them, because I knew we would be doing free motion embroidery on our ducks on the Zoom conference, so I didn't do that. But I thought I'm going to have a lot to do doing 5, so if I want any wording, I probably should do it now. So I did some little bit of a wording that I'd made up, and on the front bit where the ducks were going to be, and I did a paragraph on where the back of the project was going to be, and I did some free motion grass, which I love, along the bottom. So on the day, when everybody was like, I don't know if other people had done this prep ahead of time as well, but when other people, because some people had done quite a lot, but when people were just, you know, drawing their duck and cutting it, because I'd got 5 ducks to do, I just got on and started embroidering my ducks, and this is what I made. And I'm really pleased. If you've read my blog post, you'll have seen this, or follow my social media. But this is what I made. I made a fabric pot, and it says, sorry, I have to look something to see if you can see. It says, "My family is everything, ... And those are my little free motion ducks. And actually, even though they're kind of the same, they do all look a little bit different, because they're little pieces. They were so tricky to put on and everything. They were fraying a little, so they did all have a bit of character. And can you see the glittery grass there? Look. Actually, that's not a bad shot of them, really, is it? So, and then, so it says, "My family is everything." So that kind of represents me and my family. And then it's kind of going back to the ducks and their family. And then ... But foraging in a grassy meadow comes a close second. And because I look for, well, I'm sure that's what they like doing. And I did look it up, and actually, even though you associate with ducks with water, they especially like foraging in grassy meadows. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And my inspiration for the pot came off my poppy one, but I have done them different. The dimensions is different. The box corners are different size, so they're slightly different, but yeah, I kind of got a bit of inspiration from that, and obviously the duck inspiration was from, that's what we were going to be doing ducks. So that was that. So I'm just having a look at this Zoom and my blog post. I've told you about that. I've said about my drawing. But anyway, I do like to draw, and I go through phases with drawing. So I have been sketching away, and I've been doing a lot of doodles where you've got to keep going, and that's more because I want to do I've been doing my own designs for doing free motion embroidery, and I've had a lot of fun just sitting there with my notepad. So yes, there's going to be some more of my free motion embroidered doodles coming. And also I've got this like memory quilt that I've had in my mind for ages, and and one thing I've doodled, but not for free, like it will be a free motion thing, but not this doodle thing I've been doing. I've sketched a tree that I can see from a bedroom window, and my husband and myself, we sit on our bed and we look at this tree all year round. Now where we are sitting in our bedroom, we've not always been there. We couldn't have our bed there before because of we had a chimney breast wall which we removed when we ripped that room out. So it's only been about a year we've been in that bedroom in that spot. We did try having the bed there before on the breast wall, but so we have been there briefly, but it just didn't work because the bed was overhanging and it was just horrendous. So it's our forever spot now, and this tree, it's like we've been there like a year now, and we've watched it all year, and it's becoming quite a sentimental thing. So I've sat there today actually, and I've sketched the outline of the tree. I'm going to turn that into fabric, and I'm going to put that on a block, and that's going to be a part of our memory quilt. So that's quite exciting. I do like to doodle away. I've got my sketchbook here, and I've got all like little doodles and things, but I have got projects in here that I've some that I've designed myself, and some I've done my own thing. Here I've designed a shark quilt for my son, and I haven't done that yet. And actually I was looking at this is a terrible sketch, but you wouldn't have seen this on YouTube, but you will have seen it if you follow me on social media. Maybe I'll bring it in one of my videos. But I made a poof, and that was the top of it. Obviously it's a terrible shape, it is round in real life, and that was my colours that I wanted. And I did make that, and it's in my son's bedroom, so maybe now I've shown you that. I know I haven't put that in my blog, but I'm not going to. What I'll do is when I bring that on film, I'll show you then, and then I'll put photos of it in that blog. But yeah, so some of my plans in here come to life, and some of them don't, you know. But overall, I think most of them will. So oh gosh, I've lost my page now because I've wrote my video note in the back. Actually, if you want to see this, I love this actually. I made this, and it's the pattern was from Owl and the Sewing Cat, and there's not going to be a picture of this in the blog, but it's just, this is a bit of a random thing, and I made that, and basically it fits my sketch pad, which is really nice actually. It's nice to have something nice to work from. So I'm just looking at that. So my drawings, yeah, so that's that. Now red work, it's time for red work, isn't it? Right. Oh, actually, have I missed something? Ah, right, I have got another bag to show you, but I'm going to red work now. Right, so I've been doing my red work. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you will know that I've been doing red work blocks for a Christmas Carol quilt, and the designer is Daisy Chain Designs, and I've done like the odd block here and there, but since sort of Christmas time I promised myself if I did a block every month, it would be done by about June, July, depending if I did on these little ones in between. So the way it was looking, it was going to be done in July, but I got my April block done quite late, and I showed you that, and but then I did my May one, and I've already done it, and here we go. This is my May block, and it's Little Town of Bethlehem. And yeah, so that's that one. So that's all exciting. I've got to watch I don't lose them. It'd be awful, wouldn't it? Then, because I'd finished, I kind of promised myself if I finished early, I wasn't going to do other ones, because that would allow me to do other things like knitting and crochet. But I signed up to, I told you this in another video, I have signed up to the Mandy Secret Society, and I was in it before, but had a year off. And that was because I wanted to do lampshades, which I didn't really do very well with, and getting through them, and I wanted to do this quilt, but I have done it. So I've ended up, just because I've signed up to that, I've made a decision. I'm going to try and get as much of my red works that I've planned already done in time, so I haven't got loads of red work all built up on top of me when I start the club in June. So I've done my June block, and it's the Little Donkey Christmas Carol, and that's that one. So that's that. So then I thought I'd got four small little blocks to do, but it turns out I only had 3. So what I'd planned to do either in July or fit these in between were these little blocks. So there's a musical note one, another musical note, and another musical. So I actually no, tell a lie. I've put all the blocks together now, and actually one of them was ivy. Do you know, like berries and you know, like a holly bush kind of thing. So one of those I'd done previously that you've probably seen before. So that means all of my Christmas Carol blocks are complete. So I've got these back out to show you, but I had got them all together in my box up here. And if you want to see them all together, go to my blog at the end of the video. It'll be in the description box here, and there will be a photo of all those blocks that I've completed laid on the floor together. I've had to walk up my stairs and lean over to take the photo because there's so many of them. That's what I need. So I think it will be a big quilt, and I plan to get the fabrics from for when lockdown's over. I'm going to have a little trip to the Bramble Patch. It's about 50 minutes away, and it will give my car a good run. I'm getting a notification on Instagram. I'm trying not to look at it because it's all popping up. So I'm gonna have a little trip there when lockdown's over. It'll give my car a good run, and hopefully, well, this is if the cafe's open. If the cafe's open, I'll go. It's because I want to have coffee and cake with my husband. But if it's not, if they don't open the cafe, then I'll probably get my fabrics locally. But it's the whole experience of going out there and to get a drink and cake. So that's that side of my red work. So what I've decided to do is I thought I need to catch up on these lampshades. Now you have seen I was in a lampshade club. I've since left, and this lampshade that I've done, I'm going to show you now, has a bit of a story. Now Mandy advertised the lampshade club about a year ago. It was just before the Secret Society had been released, and the lampshade club is one of the reasons I didn't end up joining, because I just thought I've got too much red work to do. I've got all that Christmas Carol quilt, and that I think that's why, because I finished that Christmas Carol quilt, I think that's why I'm signed up to this one, because I've got all that done. And I thought I'm going to play through these lampshades. Now when I saw it advertised, the lampshade club, Mandy showed this gorgeous lampshade. It was sewing themed and it was on an antique bobbin, and I just fell in love with it, and I just thought I've got to have that lampshade. And the club was a bi-monthly club, so you got a project it was like £14 you pay, and you got one every other month but you had to sign up to 12 months. I know it's a commitment, but I don't smoke, I don't do a lot really. I rarely drink. I probably drink special occasions, and I don't really do a lot really. So it's my little thing, and it's not a massive expense. So I really wanted it. So as it happens, every time I got a lampshade, it wasn't the sewing theme one. And as delighted I was with each lampshade, I was thinking, when I'm going to get this one. And then because we'd had an Easter one, which I haven't done yet, which I've told you that before, had a summery one, which I'm working on now. Then I don't know, I'm trying to remember the order they had. We had like a patchwork one, which I haven't done. I think the first one I did was the autumn one, so it was going on all year. I did the autumn one, and that actually was no red work at all. It wasn't. There was no red on it at all. And then there was the Christmas one, which I haven't done yet, but I plan to have it done for this Christmas. And then the next one was a Valentine. I thought, is this going to be it? And then it was a Valentine's Day one, and I thought, are we ever going to get it? Well, it turns out the last month, where it got to the point I could quit not that I want to quit, I did want to leave after the 12 months because I needed to catch up. And I thought, I've got a summer themed, I've got, Valentine's, Easter, a one that could go in any time, Christmas, there's autumn. It covers a lot of things, doesn't it? So it was the last one that came, was the sewing one. I actually thought, I'm going to do this straight away, and I transferred the design, and the design that had been sent to us was back to front. And you're meant to really interface after, but I'd always put the interfacing on, and I started to stitch it, and I realised the writing was back to front. Anyway, Mandy and team were pretty good, and they got us a new transfer right really quick. But this was when all this corona kicked off, and then Mandy released a free design for the NHS, and that's this one, the Keep Calm and Sew one. So I just got cracking on those, because you needed to do those now, didn't you? Because obviously all this might be over, so you needed to do the NHS carers one, you needed to do this Keep Calm and Sew pretty quick, because it's current, isn't it? So I kind of left it, and then I thought, I'm doing these Christmas Carol ones, so I still hadn't done it, but I've finally done it. You might have seen it if you've followed me on social media, but here it is. Here is the one that I have desperately wanted. But the reason I signed up to the Lampshade Club, this is what I wanted. And it says, love to sew. And it's got a button, a cotton reel, another button, scissors is a centrepiece with a heart, and pins either side, more buttons, a needle and thread and a heart. And I'm absolutely over the moon with it. I really am. So I've wanted this. This is the reason I signed up to this club, and I've got it. But I'm really loving actually doing the other ones. And so I've only got 2 stands. I can't have them all on display. But I suppose because some of them are themed for times a year, then you can change them. But I think some of them I probably want it up all the time, so I might have to get some more stands and things in the future. So that's my lampshade, and future, something I'm working on right now, because I normally have something I'm either knitting, crocheting or hand stitching upstairs, and I have something that I normally machine make downstairs. So the project I've got on the go upstairs at the moment is another lampshade. It's my bee. I'm going to put that in shot actually so you can see. it's like a B one, so it's like a summary one, a B one, and down here, I actually bought a kit. Now, if you watch some of my old videos, you'll have seen Polly, and she's my rag doll, and I've bought a kit to make her some scrubs, but I've cut out the pattern pieces and I can't see how I'm going to get all the pieces out of the fabric. So later on, maybe later on today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, I'm going to be trying to, it's like the Krypton factor, if you're old enough to remember that, trying to figure out how all this is going to go. So that's on the agenda. So then what else have I got? Oh, badges. I have got a little purchase. Where is it? Right. This is my sewing box I made some time ago, and it's got, I did red work here, look. And I bought some badges from Mandy. They were only really cheap, but I bought them and I've put them inside my sewing box, look there. And then it's these ones, those, and yeah, I love it. I love my badges. I do put badges and things on my board, but these clip on nice. They're not the ones with like a metal back you push on. They're just like the ones that the traditional ones. So I just love that. So that's my homemade sewing box, and with my badges in it, and I think there was £1 each, so it wasn't like crazy money. So that is my badges, and then I've done another poppy project, and this is the latest one, and this time it was another free motion bee, but this time it wasn't a bumblebee, it was like a honeybee, and more like slender bee, so a bit more realistic rather than cute like the last one that I did for my sandwich wrap. And here it is, here's the bee. So the bottom of the bee sticks round the back and the front of the bee's round here. And I've done it on this wool mix fabric, and it's a bag, and I've used this today. My husband needed to put something in the post box, so we walked to the post box and we had a little walk round, and I just put my phone in it. So yeah, it's really lovely. This was tickling fabric. Is it ticking fabric I bought ages ago to make like clothes for rabbits and things, but I've used it in my bag, but never mind. And I used it to make the strap as well. And these were little things. I think I use keyring clips to do the detachable straps. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And our next project, so that's our 4th one, so we've only got 2 more, and the next one is a tea cosy, so there's going to be a tea cosy coming next week. And so that's my bee bag. Oh, and at the end of this video, you are going to see a video of the making of that as well. So you'll get like a 1-minute video and a 2-minute video at the end of this. One's making the ship bag, the making of it, and one is that one. And you'll see a little snippets with music of me making those, if all goes to plan. And there will be photos of those in the blog as well, which will be in the description underneath. So that's that. Done the lampshade. Secret Society plans, that's what I've wrote here. So I've told you about that, haven't I? I'm going to be in the Secret Society, so I'm trying to get a lot of red work done, so I don't feel really like bombarded that I'm getting more red work turning up, and I've got all this red work I haven't done, but I feel really accomplished. I'm getting through it. Regarding clothes making, the reason I hadn't was the interfacing. The interfacing has come now, so hopefully some dresses are on the agenda, but I haven't made the toiles yet, but they will be coming. I think when this poppy group ends, which we've only got 2 more weeks now, 2 more projects, that's gonna free up a bit of time to do more things. So yeah, so I think maybe that's when the dressmaking will be back on again. So I hope you have liked what I've shown you today. Hang around as soon as this ends to see my very short little movies, because I've been doing my movie making again. You might see one of me vacuum packing as well. if I've still got it. I did a vacuum pack, some 5/8 wadding, and I did a little movie for that. See, that might be there as well. But just remember, when you've watched it, this ends, go in the description, go to my blog. There'll be things all about this blog. There's the pictures of things I've shown you, and obviously if you want to see some previous things like the ironing board hack and if you just go to the bottom, and it will keep taking you back to each blog, so you don't have to go back a few. And you can, if you want to, you can subscribe to this and click the bell so you'll know when I've posted a video, or you can go to my blog, or both, whatever you want, and sign up to my blog, and you'll get blog posts. Sometimes it's because I've done a video, and sometimes it's just because I'm doing a blog post. So if you're interested in any of that, that's what you can do to follow me. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. So remember to hold on, they're coming, hopefully. Bye. I am now going to attempt to vacuum pack all this wadding into this bag, this vacuum. Wish me luck. Well, I've managed to get it in the bag, and now I'm going to attempt to vacuum pack it. Ta-da! I think more air would have come out of it, but I just thought I'd stop it there. I thought that's small enough to store.